Hello everyone, welcome back to Underdog Hockey. I am back with another video. Like I said, I'm bringing you guys the top 15 prospects from the 2019 draft, in my opinion. I'm going to be going from 1 to 15. This is in order, okay? So just so you know, I'm just going off of my opinion, what I think should have happened, what I think teams probably needed more than other. So this is kind of where I'm gonna go. All right. So for now, I'm gonna start with number one, which I feel like a lot of people probably will agree on this with me, is Jack Hughes. I think he was for sure by far the consensus number one. Kako kind of started to make a case for himself towards the end of the year, but I think everyone can agree that Hughes might have the higher ceiling. He has higher potential, but I do think Kako is a better player now. So I think Kako is going to make a bigger difference for the Rangers than Hughes will for the Devils, but we also don't know. Hughes could make a huge difference. He could not. I'm going to say that he is for sure the number one prospect from the draft. Jack Hughes is. And I say this because I think he is going to be a franchise center for the New Jersey Devils. For his first year, I think it's going to be a lot of learning for him, kind of trying to figure out how to transfer his game to the NHL level. I think he's going to do a pretty good job. I mean, the guy had 112 points in 50 games played with the United States under 18 national team. That includes like the development program, just playing in U18 tournaments and everything. You guys know the whole shabam. So he was obviously projected to go number one overall, and he did go number one overall to the Devils. I think that is a very good pick for New Jersey. I think he's going to be a franchise center for them. And maybe this pick helps convince Hall to stay. I'm not sure. That's a topic for a whole nother video. I'm going to go over to the number two pick, in my opinion, which I strongly believe is Kako Kako. Capo Kako. Pardon me. I think he was for sure the consensus number two. He kind of made a case for himself, like I said, for number one, but like everyone, I kind of think that he deserved to go number two. Oh, and Hughes was supposed to go number one. He is a bigger player. He's 6'2". He had 75 points in a total of 88 games played over his 2018-19 year. That includes every game he played, whether it was for U18, other teams. You guys already know that. So I think that both teams made the right decision in picking who they did. But yeah, I don't know. I think that Kako's going to do really good in his rookie year. I think he's definitely a Calder finalist, 100%. Like a million 100%. Kako and Hughes will probably be Calder finalists, depending on if one of them gets injured. That would be really unfortunate. But I think they're both Calder finalists by the end of the year. We're going to move to number three, and this was actually something that really shocked me in the draft. Um, I was projecting Alex Turcotte to go number three to the Chicago Blackhawks. So this is what really shocked me. Okay, I thought for sure Turcotte would have gone three. I think Chicago needed that center. I think Chicago has like that. He was like a local boy. All right, he played in the area, so I think like it would have been good for Chicago to bring that, and I think it would have been a good draft pick. But they ended up going with Kirby Doc, which is a solid pick as well. I think he'll be really good. I would have personally taken Turcotte over Dak, but maybe he'll prove me wrong this year. So, anyways, he had 62 points in 37 games played over the 2018-19 year. I'm just including like for every team he's played for, right? This is combined stats. This isn't just the national development team, all of that. So he's also not as big. He's only 5'11". I mean, that's not tiny, and we know now in the NHL that you don't need to be big to play. Um, but I probably would have picked him third, to be honest, but that's just me. In the end, GMs probably know better than I do, but I'd like to say for myself that I have a good grasp on the game. The only reason why I didn't pick Byram to go three is because Chicago made that trade for Oli Mata, and this was before like the Yogi Haru for Nylander trade happened. This is my list from before then. I don't know what they did with that trade. We'll talk about that in another video, but let's just move on for now, okay? My number four pick is the one, the only Bowen Byram. I think that he could have gone third if Chicago needed the defenseman. But with the Mata trade and everything, like I didn't know like if they needed D. Um, So I had Byram going 4 to the Avalanche, which he ended up actually going 4th to the Avalanche. And honestly, that's a great pick for Colorado. I think Byram's going to be a really good top 4 defenseman in the NHL as he progresses. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds. He's a, 194 pounds, pardon me. He's a big boy, and well, he's not overly huge, but he's not tiny. I think he's going to be great. You kind of Colorado's set for the next like 10 years with their top two defensemen with Byram and Makar. So honestly, this is a great pick for Colorado. Everyone was kind of like, do they really need the defensive depth? Should they grab a forward in the draft? Honestly, they made the right decision in my opinion by picking the best player at the time. Turcotte was available, but I think that if Byram didn't go third, they were 100% taking him because they wanted Makar and Byram to be the future of their blue line. So I think they made the right decision in the end. I guess we'll find out this year. Byram had 71 points in 67 games played with the Vancouver Giants in the 2018-19 season, which is unreal. Like, that's really good for a defenseman. I think he will step up into the NHL this year 100%. I mean, Colorado has some good defensemen. Zadorov is really good. Carr's good. Gerard is really good. I think the Gerard contract's unreal. That's just my opinion, though. But yeah, I think Byram will definitely step up into the NHL this year, and he'll be good. And him and Makar are the future of that blue line. So we're gonna move on now to number 5, which I had Kirby Dach at number 5. This is just my opinion. He's a big centerman. He's 6'4", 198 pounds. I projected him to go 5th to the Los Angeles Kings. This is just a player that I thought fit the LA Kings. Obviously, he got picked by Chicago, number 3. I don't know, like, in my opinion, I don't know if that's the right pick for Chicago. I would have taken Turcotte maybe over Dach, but in the end, like I said before, GMs know more than me, so obviously it was the right decision. I hope, honestly, that Dach really proves me wrong this year and shows me that he is worth the number 3 pick, because that would be awesome. He had 73 points in 62 games played with the Saskatoon Blades in the 2019-18 season. I watched a couple of the WHL games this year. Usually I'm not a big fan. I just keep up with prospects, maybe watch some highlights, stuff like that. But I actually watched a couple of the Blades games this year, and he looked good. He looked pretty good. He looks big, strong, everything you want. So, you know, I hope he proves me wrong this year. But we're going to move on to number 5. And I had Trevor Zegras at the number 5 position. Or the number 6 position, sorry, the number 6. Apologies. I had Zegras at number 6. I think he's a great player. I mean, especially when you play with the national development team, I think you learn great coaching ability. Like, I think kids that come out of that program are very coachable. I think that makes a huge difference. I projected him to go number 6. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Not sure if that's too high or not. I don't know. I just thought that would have been a good fit for him. He's 6 foot, so he's decent size. He can play center and the wing. I think he's a very versatile player, which is awesome, and a lot of people can use a player like that. So that's why I had him at number 6. He ended up going number 9 to Anaheim. Anaheim's going to love that pick. They probably were so happy he dropped. At least, in my opinion, I think they're happy he dropped. He had 87 points in 60 games played over the 2018-19 season. That's a pretty good amount of points. You know, like, I think he's going to be really solid for Anaheim, and he is my number 6 prospect, and he deserves to be there 100%, and that's just the way I feel. Let's move on to number 7. I had Dylan Cousins at number 7. He's a big 6'3" centerman. He can play right wing too. He's versatile like Zegras in that way. I thought he was really good. I watched a couple of the Lethbridge games. He looked awesome. He's big, and he's from Canada. He's a Canadian boy. He's from the Yukon. So I had to support him, right? I think he's going to be great for Buffalo. He's going to be a cornerstone piece. I mean, they need him to turn into a 2C. All right, like they could use that so much. They got Eichel at 1C. They could use Cousins to turn into a 2C within the next 3 years. That would be amazing for them. They have Middlestat, and he could pan out to be a 2C. I'm just not sold on him. All like, I don't know. I think Buffalo needs Cousins to be their true 2C. Um, he had 84 points in 64 games with Lethbridge. I mean, that's really good. I can't really complain about that. Obviously, he can put up points, and I think he will transfer his game to the NHL level very well. I think he makes the jump to the NHL team this year. That's a possibility. But I don't know if he sticks. I think he could use 1 year in the AHL. That's just my opinion, though. Buffalo also could use that forward depth that he could provide. So you never know. We might see him in the AHL. We might not. Let's move on to number 8. So my number 8 pick, you guys might be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why do you have him at number 8? I had Moritz Seider at number 8. This is just my opinion. Once again, like, if Stevie Y believes in him, obviously there's got to be some upsides to the guy. He's a right-handed defenseman. He's 6'4", 207 pounds. He's a big boy. All right, this is gonna be big for Detroit. He was drafted number 6 overall, by the way. If you guys don't know, I think he was projected to go somewhere around like the 15th mark. I have him at number 8 just because I think that's a great spot for him, and I think that that's just where he would rank in these top 15 prospects. Not a lot of people were talking about him. He was kind of on the quiet side of everything. But I think this is a great pick for Detroit. He only had 31 points in 57 games played over the 2018-19 season, but I think he will transfer his game over to the NHL very smoothly. And I'm not sure he makes the NHL level this year. I could see him playing in the AHL for this year, just because Detroit kind of has like some guys there that deserve that time. Like Chronic deserves that time, and then you also should give some time to I always pronounce his name wrong. Cholowski, Dennis Cholowski. I think that's something like it. He should probably get a shot in the league. So I think that's really where it goes, to be honest. Yeah. So, anyways, moving on to number 8, or number 9. Pardon me. I have Cole Caulfield. I think he fell in the draft quite a bit, to be honest. And a lot of that probably is because of his size. He's only 5'7". He can play center and right wing, but this guy can put up points and he can score. All right, Montreal got a really good pick in number 15. They get Cole Caulfield. Really, he was projected to go inside a top 10 like all year. Like people were thinking he was going 7 or 8. Like Edmonton probably was a projected spot for him to go, number 8 to Edmonton, but turns out he dropped all the way to 15. I think this is a great pick for Montreal. He's only 5'7", but he is 163 pounds, so he's a solid kid. And I think if he puts on some weight, really fills in that body, and works on his skating, he's going to be really good in the NHL. I mean, the guy can score, all right? He broke the scoring record for the U.S. National Development Team. That says something. He had 100 points in 72 games played. That is unreal. That's all I really have to say about Caulfield. I don't think he'll play in the NHL this year. I think he'll have 1 year in the AHL. You never know. He could really impress Montreal at training camp, and we could see him playing in the NHL. Let's move on to number 9 or 10. 10. This is number 10. Philip Broberg. I have him at number 10. I think that's a good spot for him to go. He's a big 6'3" left-handed defenseman. He had only 40 points in 83 games played. That's still good for a defenseman, though. You can't really complain that. I pretty sure he was projected to go like number 9th around there, 9, 10. But he was drafted number 8 by Edmonton, which I think is pretty accurate. I have him at number 10 just because I have a couple players ahead of him that I thought maybe should have went before him. But, what can you do? So this all I have to really say about Broberg is that he's going into an Edmonton system. I don't know if a lot of things have changed with their player development, but we've seen a lot of players drafted by Edmonton not work out. Look at Puljujarvi right now. The guy doesn't even want to be there anymore. So, I mean, I wish the best for him. I hope that his development goes smoothly with Edmonton, and I hope he makes a big difference. I think he could be a really good defenseman in the next 4 or 5 years in the NHL. Moving on to number 11, I have Peyton Krebs. I know a lot of people probably won't agree with this pick just because of his injury. I don't think it's a lot of like a big thing that any GMs really need to worry about. I think that people overreacted about it. I think he was projected to go somewhere like 14, 13 ish, around there. He ended up going number 17, which isn't that bad. He didn't drop that far, but he's 5'11, so he's not the biggest center. He can play left wing as well. He only hit 68 points in 64 games, which is not that bad, but it's not a crazy amount like you see Byram putting up more points than that. He's a defenseman. I just think that's how much better like the top 10 is than outside. But that's nothing against Krebs. I think he's going to be a great player as well. So yeah, I mean, what can I really say? There's nothing else I really have to say about the whole situation. Krebs goes 17th. I projected him to go around like 11-ish. So yeah, I have Matthew Boldy as number 12. I think that he's going to be a very good left winger. I mean, the guy is 6'2", 192 pounds. Put up 81 points in 64 games, which is really good. He's projected to go around like 10, 11-ish. I think he went 12th overall, which isn't that bad. He didn't fall very far, but I think he's a very good prospect, and I have him put right around where he got drafted, so he's a pretty good prospect in this draft, and I think he's going to be great. I don't really have a lot to say about him. Don't really know too much. Didn't really follow him as well. I kind of was off him a little bit, but let's move on now. So number 13, I have Victor Soderstrom. This guy is a right-hand defenseman. He's only 5'11", a little bit on the smaller side, but I think he's going to be good. All right, he got drafted number 11 by Arizona, and I think this guy's going to help Arizona a lot. They need to restock on that defense, and I think they're doing a good job in that. Had 19 points in 70 games played over the 2018-19 season, so nothing like crazy. Didn't put up crazy numbers, but I think he's going to be a solid defenseman, and I think his game will transfer over to the NHL level within a couple of years. Give it 3 years, and I think he'll be a solid top 4 defenseman in the NHL. So number 14, I have Alex Newhook, and Alex Newhook at number 14, I think is really solid. I mean, the guy had 102 points in 53 games played with the Victoria Grizzlies. He's projected to go around like 12th. He actually got drafted 16th overall by Colorado, which is another amazing pick by Colorado. Like I said earlier, like I didn't know if Colorado was going to go like the forward route, so they obviously had like a plan for if they could get Newhook with their second pick that they would take him. Which I think is a really good pick. He's only 5'10". He's a center. He's a little bit on the smaller side, but I think the guy's going to be awesome in about 3 or 4 years. Like most of these players, probably take like 3 to 4 years for them to fully develop and grow into what I think lots of them could be. I think lots of these players, it won't take very long for them to actually get to their NHL level. I think Newhook is going to be awesome. I mean, the guy's going to be great for Colorado. That just helps out their forward depth so much, and I could see him making the team in the next 2 years. I don't think this year coming up, but maybe even the next year after that he could make the team. I think he spends the year in the AHL, and I think it's going to be great for him. At number 15th, I have Spencer Knight. Okay, this might be unpopular opinion. I think that Knight is a great goaltender. I mean, the guy is 6'3", 192 pounds. Played for the U.S. National Development Team. I mean, the guy's unreal. All right, it's not very often goalies go in the first round. I mean, they do sometimes, but it's not very often. So obviously, this guy's got something good about him. He had 33 games played this year with a 2.36 goals against average and a .913 save percentage with the U.S. national team. And like people might not be like, oh, those stats are unreal. They're not. We've seen better. All right. But I think in a couple of years, this guy's going to be a solid goaltender. I mean, he's a great player, and I think he's going to be great for his NHL club. So, yeah, this is what I had for my top 15 prospects from the 2019 draft. If you guys disagree, agree, make sure to talk about it in the comments. If you have any feedback from the video, please let me know, okay? I love feedback. I appreciate it all. So, yeah, anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'll be uploading another video here within probably the next couple of days, and that's on my top 6 prospects outside the first round. I hope you guys are excited for that video. If you are, like the video, comment down below, and subscribe, okay? I will see you guys all later. Bye.